If you have been tracking crypto tech over the past few months, you will know the pace hasn't slowed. And just when everyone thinks they have got the multi chain picture figured out, something new drops from a direction most people weren't looking. Today's lineup brings together four major developments, all very different, but all pointing to the same thing. Blockchains are stepping into new territory faster than expected. Let's begin with the news that surprised a lot of developers watching the internet computer ecosystem. Litecoin, one of the oldest, most battle tested cryptocurrencies, is stepping into a completely new role. Not through a bridge, not through a wrapped token, and not through a centralized gateway, but directly at the protocol level. ICP Hub Egypt has confirmed that Litecoin is now integrating directly with the Internet Computer smart contract layer. What makes this news stand out is the method. Once the integration goes live, Litecoin will be treated as a native, programmable, controllable asset by the Internet Computer smart contracts, often called canisters. The feature is built on ICP's chain key cryptography and its broader chain fusion stack. This allows smart contracts to generate and control addresses on external blockchains, meaning a canister running on ICP can actually hold real Litecoin, sign real Litecoin transactions, and trigger actions fully on chain without a bridge or custodian sitting in the middle. For users, that means Litecoin can be held in wallets controlled by your ICP identity. Instead of juggling seed phrases, browser extensions, or custodial services, the control comes from your principal, the on-chain identity system that's part of the Internet Computer's architecture. And once the integration is up and running, a whole list of use cases opens up that is fully on-chain Litecoin vaults. Atomic, cross-network swaps, multi-chain applications that move assets between chains directly, AI agents capable of running automated Litecoin trading strategies, cross-chain communication that doesn't rely on a bridge or federated network. It's the kind of move people didn't expect for Litecoin. It's a network famous for reliability and simplicity rather than experimental programmability. Turning it into a programmable asset is a big shift in how the industry thinks about long-standing cryptocurrencies. Now, a few things to keep in mind. The announcement says the integration is coming soon, with documentation and testing tools arriving over the next few weeks. Support for privacy focused coins like Zcash is tentatively planned for early to mid 2026. The developers also mentioned future support for EVM based assets, including BNB. But there are open questions. When a smart contract system starts controlling assets across multiple chains, the security expectations rise massively. People will want to see audits, rigorous testing, transparency around key management mechanics, and evidence that the system can withstand unexpected network events. Independent researchers will likely inspect every line of documentation before forming a final opinion. Even so, it's a moment worth noting. Litecoin is rarely the chain you hear about in experimental cross-chain upgrades. Yet now it's on the path to becoming part of a multi-chain architecture that treats every supported asset as controllable code rather than just a coin in a wallet. If the integration works as advertised, Litecoin holders may gain a new range of tools that simply didn't exist before. The second story comes from Binance Blockchain Week, where Pierre Samaties from Divinity took his panel slot to walk the audience through something that's rapidly becoming a talking point across the tech world, that is AI driven software creation. The focus was on Caffeine AI, which launched in October 2025. If you haven't tried it yet, the idea is simple but powerful. You speak or type what you want to build, and the system generates fully functioning software on the internet computer. No coding knowledge required. Instead of frameworks, libraries, tutorials, or hours of debugging, you provide the idea. AI writes the code, deploys it instantly, and handles the infrastructure behind the scenes. Because the internet computer uses chain key cryptography, the deployed software is tamper proof and runs on chain. That means the output isn't just a prototype, it's a real application running in a decentralized environment. What Samaties emphasized during the panel was the shift in expectations. In the past, developers decided what was possible, consumers adapted, and the creative bottleneck sat in the hands of engineering talent. With Caffeine AI, people at every skill level can shape what gets built, whether it's a neighborhood food sharing app, a tool for a school group, a tracker for a local sports club, or something larger. He framed it as a transition where AI becomes the builder and users become the designers. Divinity says generation and deployment can be thousands of times faster than traditional workflows. It's that speed combined with the ease of creation that's drawing interest not just from crypto native builders, but from people who have never touched blockchain tools before. Of course, opinions are split. Supporters call it the start of a self writing internet. Critics say people are reacting too quickly and that large scale, long term value still needs to be proven. But whatever your stance, the activity is hard to ignore. Early adopters are building apps almost as fast as they can think of them. Developers are experimenting with AI powered workflows, and with ICP seeing more movement in its token activity following recent upgrades, the spotlight on this space is only getting brighter. Samathis then makes sweeping predictions. Instead, he pointed to the coming year as the real test. Can hyperlocal apps created in seconds scale both technically and socially? The next wave of experimentation will give that answer. Next up is the market story that's been gaining attention, the rise in ICP accumulation among large wallets, commonly known as humpback whales. Recent data shows that these big holders have been steadily increasing their positions. This trend appears even more pronounced because leveraged liquidations have been triggered around the $3.44 and $4.54 levels. Whenever traders overextend on leverage and positions get liquidated, tokens return to the market at speed. Large players often take advantage of these moments, sweeping up tokens at lower prices. This behavior has several consequences, like circulating supply drops as whales absorb more tokens. Market influence increases because when fewer tokens are moving, each trade can have a stronger effect. Volatility risk rise since a single large wallet making a sudden move could cause sharp price motion. Whale accumulation is often interpreted as confidence in an ecosystem, but it's not a guarantee of upward movement. Broader interest, general sentiment, and ecosystem growth all play their part. What's notable is the efficiency of the market response. Liquidations fed extra liquidity into the open market, and whales were quick to absorb it. This pattern shows how the structure of supply, not just price action, plays a central role in shaping trading behavior. For everyday participants, the message is straightforward. That is, understanding how supply is distributed is just as important as watching charts. When major holders accelerate their accumulation during liquidation events, it can indicate quiet repositioning that isn't immediately obvious from price alone. Whether this accumulation leads to a stronger market or to sharper swings depends on how these large holders act in the months ahead. Finally, a shift in the ordinals market that's catching attention. A buy now pay later option has launched through Liquidium, letting collectors purchase ordinals by paying part of the amount upfront in Bitcoin and borrowing the rest through an on chain loan. The seller receives the full amount instantly. The buyer takes on a loan, and the ordinal stays locked in escrow until repayment is complete. If repayment doesn't happen, the lender can claim the asset. The system relies on peer to peer lending and PSBT based transactions, keeping it trust minimized and non custodial. Ownership only transfers once all conditions are met. It's an approach that gives collectors more flexibility, especially when dealing with rare or expensive inscriptions. But there are risks. Miss a repayment window, and the buyer loses the ordinal and the initial deposit. Borrowing against digital assets can encourage overextension if users aren't cautious. Even with those caveats, many see this as an important step for the ordinals ecosystem. Sellers get quicker liquidity, buyers get a wider range of options. Lenders get yields backed by real high value digital artifacts. It fits into a broader movement across Bitcoin, the growth of on chain financial tools that are trust minimized, programmable, and built around real assets rather than synthetic versions. With more buyers able to participate in premium ordinal auctions and launches, overall market activity could increase. Across all four stories, Litecoins move into programmable territory, AI-driven app creation on the internet computer, whale accumulation patterns, and BNPL for ordinals. There is a clear theme. Crypto is shifting into a phase where old assumptions are being rewritten. Legacy coins are gaining new powers. AI is becoming a creative partner. Markets are reshaping under the weight of leverage and large holder strategies. And Bitcoin artifacts are gaining financial instruments that were once unthinkable on chain. It's one of those moments where each headline points in a different direction, but all of them suggest the same thing. The ecosystem is expanding into areas nobody expected a few years ago. If you want more breakdowns like this for your feed, hit that button and I'll see you in the next one.